Hello and welcome back to the Out of Spec podcast. Senators have reintroduced legislation that would charge EV owners a tax when they buy their EV. This tax would contribute to the Highway Trust Fund, also known as the HTF. The HTF is a federal fund controlled by the federal government to help build and maintain roads, highways, and bridges in the United States. Currently, gas-powered vehicles contribute to the HTF through the gas tax. About 18 cents for every gallon of gas goes to the HTF. That's how gas-powered vehicles pay their share. Now they're trying to get electric vehicles to do the same. Let's talk about it. This episode has been made possible by the support we get from Fort Collins Kia. If you are in the market for any electric Kia, not only do they never add market adjustments, they will deliver your car to you anywhere in the 48 contiguous states for Out of Spec viewers. More information in this episode's description. Today, February 12th, U.S. Senator Deborah Fisher, a Republican from Nebraska, a member of the Senate Commerce Committee, reintroduced legislation that would support nationwide infrastructure investments and promote fairness among drivers. The Fair Sharing of Highways and Roads for Electric Vehicles, Fair Share Act, would ensure that electric vehicles pay into the Highway Trust Fund to support the construction and maintenance of U.S. roads and bridges. And I think objectively, that is fair. Electric vehicles currently don't contribute to the Highway Trust Fund. It is worth mentioning that many states from Georgia, Illinois, Texas, and California charge electric vehicle owners a annual fee on their registration to help pay for maintenance of roads on a state level. And so the fact that electric vehicles federally, nationally don't pay some sort of tax contributing to the Highway Trust Fund, I think makes a compelling argument that they should, especially because electric vehicles, like gas-powered vehicles, use the same roads, the same highways, and same bridges. But let's read more into what Deborah is saying. Gasoline-powered vehicles pay into the HTF through the gas tax, but as of now, EVs do not contribute to the HTF at all. However, the average EV is significantly heavier than its gas-powered counterpart due to the weight of large EV batteries. Again, I'm quoting what Deborah is saying here in a press release. The Fair Share Act would require additional investment into the HTF for EVs with heavier batteries to account for the road damage and increased maintenance cost they cause. She goes on to, quote, say, EVs can weigh up to 3 times as much as gas-powered cars, creating more wear and tear on our roads and bridges. It's only fair that they pay into the Highway Trust Fund just like other cars do. The Fair Share Act will require EVs to pay their fair share for the upkeep of America's infrastructure. Now, it is true, electric vehicles weigh about 20 to 30% more on average than their internal combustion engine vehicle counterparts. A Tesla Model Y weighs a couple hundred more pounds than a equivalent Toyota RAV4. However, the reason for why EVs should pay into the Highway Trust Fund, being their weight, is a bit of an invalid argument. Now, before we read more into what Deborah Fisher's legislation is and what she's looking to propose, I want to read this quote directly from the American Institute of Physics, which says, a semi-truck with 8 axles weighing 80,000 pounds, which is the limit for semi-trucks, does 2,500 times more road damage with a 2-axled, 4,000-pound sedan. Okay, so a semi-truck, all these heavy-duty trucks we see on the roads every single day, there are millions of them driving on U.S. highways, do 2,500 times more damage than a 2-axled, 4,000-pound sedan, according to the American Institute of Physics. So it's worth conceptualizing, right? EVs are generally heavier than internal combustion engine vehicles, right? There is a giant, sometimes 1,000, 2,000 pound battery underneath the electric vehicle that is its battery, help powering it. However, it's worth noting that heavy trucks are the primary contributors to road damage, far surpassing, right, 2,500 times the impact of passenger vehicles. And that comes from the American Institute of Physics. And it's physics, right? What can we say about physics? Now, I'll read furthermore into the actual bill that Fisher is looking to introduce, Fisher's Fair Share Act. Background saying the Highway Trust Fund makes up over 90% of federal funds used for transportation projects. The HTF primarily receives its funding through the federal gas tax, 18.3 cents per gallon for gas and 24.3 cents per gallon of diesel. Currently, the HTF faces impending solvency. Since 2008, over $275 billion, including $118 billion from the bipartisan infrastructure law, has been shifted from the general fund to sustain the HTF. Projections from CBO in October 2023 show the HTF becoming insolvent starting in 2028. So clearly, these resources are needed. This money, 90% of federal funds come from the HTF to support transportation projects. And if the HTF becomes insolvent, if they're not making enough money to support these projects, then that becomes an issue for federally maintained roads, highways, and bridges. She goes on to say electric vehicle adoption, which is encouraged at the federal level through tax incentives, is placing further strain on the HTF. EVs do not contribute to the HTF as they are not subject to federal gas tax. Despite this, their heavy batteries weigh up to 3 times more than the internal combustion engine counterparts. Now, we're going to read what she has to say, and I just want to say what she's saying is absolutely absurd. Again, I agree. Electric vehicles should contribute to the Highway Trust Fund. They're using the same roads. Gas vehicles pay, electric vehicles don't pay in most states. It makes sense that electric vehicles should contribute in some form. But she goes on to say, right, for example, the Ford F-150 Lightning weighs over 6,000 pounds. That's true. Whereas the F-150 internal combustion engine weighs an average of 3,000 pounds. That's true, but that's not true at the same time. An F-150 regular cab, which has a 8-foot bed and has a bench seat. It has 3 passengers. It's not the same cab that the F-150 has. That weighs 4,000 pounds, according to Ford's own website. So again, you have the Ford F-150 Lightning, which seats 5 people, and you have the F-150 that Fisher is quoting, that is a larger bed, single cab truck. According to Ford, the Super Crew, the internal combustion engine Super Crew cab, the same cab that Ford has for the Lightning. So the gas actual equivalent of the Ford Lightning weighs 5,520 pounds. Not that much different from the 6,000 pound Lightning, is it? Furthermore, which this was actually, I don't know who made this and how this even got past, like, any fact checkers, but the Ford EV Mustang weighs nearly 5,000 pounds. That's true. And a Ford Mustang with an internal combustion engine weighs 3,500 pounds. That's true, but a Ford Mustang is an efficient 2-row, 5-seater, mid-sized SUV. A Ford Mustang internal combustion engine is a 2-door coupe made for the track, the road. It's a sports car. It's meant to be lighter. So imagine their argument here in terms of weight is comparing a Mach-E to a 2-door Mustang. That I think that kind of sums up the argument of weight. Yes, electric vehicles weigh more than internal combustion engine vehicles, but that is not the reason they should be charged more for the highway. They should be charged for the Highway Trust Fund. They should be charged for the Highway Trust Fund because they're cars using roads. And to ensure that highways and bridges and roads are maintained, we want to make sure that all vehicles are contributing. But weight has clearly no factor to that when we have heavy-duty trucks like the Ford F-250, which sold 360,000 units last year and weighs anywhere from 5,000 to 7,000 pounds. And we have millions, probably tens of millions of semi-trucks driving U.S. roads weighing upwards of 50,000 pounds carrying cargo, contributing to the damage, the wear and tear that we have on roads. And of course, semi-trucks pay their fair share, right? I'm not sure if you've seen the diesel bill for a semi-truck, but sometimes it's in the thousands. Sometimes they're paying $1,000 every time they fill up. And right? 18 cents per gallon. That is a lot of money that is going to the Highway Trust Fund. In the bill summary, there are two different tiers that would require EVs to contribute to the Highway Trust Fund through a two-tier fee structure similar to and modeled after the current federal gas tax and heavy vehicle use tax. The bill would include Tier 1, impose a one-time fee of $1,000 on all electric vehicles at the manufacturer level at the point of sale. This fee would be appropriated to the Highway Trust Fund. The $1,000 fee equals the average amount of consumers currently contribute to the HTF through gas taxes calculated over the span of 10 years. Quoted, light-duty vehicles with internal combustion engines have an average lifespan of 100,000 miles, which equates to approximately 10 years. Now, if we pull out a calculator, right, it's quoted light-duty trucks with an internal combustion engine have an average lifespan of 100,000 years, 100,000 miles, and we'll do the average mile per gallon efficiency of 25, which is more than what your average light-duty truck is going to be getting. That gives you 4,000 gallons of fuel to power this light-duty powered truck over its lifespan. You multiply that by the 18 cents tax, that's $720 over that 10-year span, right, for the gas tax. That's how much is paid in gas tax over 10 years, quoted on average, give or take, right? So $1,000 isn't far off. However, it really isn't equal to the $720 that gas-powered vehicles would be paying. Not to mention smaller gas-powered vehicles like your Toyota Camry, like your Prius, like your Accord, which are lighter, have mile per gallons upwards of 50. They would be paying much less than $720. And it does an injustice to vehicles like the Honda Leaf, the Model Y, even the Lucid Air, the Model 3, the Ioniq 6, which are extremely efficient, and they have to pay $1,000, end up paying probably 2-3 more times the cost than its gas-powered equivalent, which is unfair, right? If we're going to be charging a gas tax, it needs to be somewhat equal among EVs and gas-powered vehicles. The second tier says impose a one-time fee of $550 on each battery module. Now, I should clarify here, when she says battery module, this bill, technically they mean battery pack. In the EV world, when we hear the word battery module, I think of the dozen of modules that make up one battery pack. But in this case, they're talking about one battery pack. Impose a one-time fee of $550 on each battery module with a weight greater than 1,000 pounds to be imposed at the manufacturer level and would be appropriated to the Highway Trust Fund. Under the current structure, heavy trucks account for the additional costs they impose through a heavy vehicle use tax. Trucks with a gross weight of 55,000 pounds pay $100 plus $22 per 1,000 pounds over 55,000 pounds. At 75,000 pounds, that tax is capped at $550. So get this, electric vehicles would be paying the same tax as a 75,000 pound truck. That's unfair, not equal. Now, again, I think the Highway Trust Fund is important. Clearly saying here that 90% of federal funds are used for transportation projects at a federal level. If we want to ensure that the Highway Trust Fund stays supported as electric vehicle adoption increases, and as we've mentioned, electric vehicles don't contribute to the Highway Trust Fund, it's important that they pay. But to pay the equivalent of a 75,000 pound truck, ridiculous. She goes on to say an excess fee would ensure that EVs are similarly contributing their fair share towards the cost of building, maintaining roads and bridges, and are accounting for their additional cost they impose due to the weight of EV batteries. As we've already mentioned, right? A two-axled, 4,000 pound electric vehicle has almost no contribution to wear and tear compared to a 80,000 pound heavy-duty semi-truck. So really who should be paying more are these semi-truck drivers or semi-trucks in general. Of course, they're moving logistics. And so there's a lot of nuance here, right? Who's getting taxed more, who's not getting taxed. It's important that the fund stays funded. But charging EV drivers, right, the equivalent of $75,000 doesn't make sense at all. I don't think that's fair. But again, right, this is for EVs with a weight greater than a battery pack with a weight greater than 1,000 pounds, which includes, again, most EVs. This is including pretty much every single mid-sized EV out there has a battery pack weighing more than 1,000 pounds. This covers all of our EV trucks, larger SUVs, and of course, the big old Hummer EV SUV, the commercial trucks that we have and vans. That would cover all of those. And it really wouldn't touch that of like the Fiat 500e, the Nissan Leaf, the Chevy Bolt, if it's similarly weighted when it comes out with the new next generation, right? These smaller EVs that don't have 1,000-pound batteries, this wouldn't cover them. I can't believe that they're looking to charge this much for electric vehicles. Again, it's important that electric vehicles, I've said this 1,000 times, contribute to the HDF, but now a 1,000 one-time fee for all electric vehicles, and then another fee for those electric vehicles with a battery module weighing more than 1,000 pounds is unequal. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I hope I wasn't like giving too much of my opinion into what's happening here, but I'm trying to conceptualize what's being said, because the idea of comparing a Ford Mustang Mach-E to that of a two-door Mustang doesn't make sense. And so I'm hoping that gave some clarity, less more of opinions. But let me know what you guys think. Right? Should EVs even be contributing to the Highway Trust Fund? Do you think so? If EVs are, what should that amount be? Maybe there's a tax that would be paid at the fast charger, a DC fast charger, because that's going to be on most highways and major corridors. Maybe we'll see a tax there. But look, as with a new administration that is looking to even the playing field between electric vehicles and gas-powered vehicles, as Trump has been quoted to say in his executive order, we're going to see a lot more of these bills and acts and legislation that are targeting electric vehicles in a more fair place. Because again, it is fair that electric vehicles pay the Highway Trust Fund, at least in my opinion. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Out of Spec. My name is Isaiah, and I will see you guys in the next one.